One school district has their hats on today to help a classmate in need. The city of La Crosse is currently working on prepping this former industrial site to start developing the River Point district next year. As much as the staff here at Logan Middle School wants kids to be safe, that doesn't change how much they miss their students. At about 600 feet above the city of Winona, these formations at the Winona Ice Park can be seen for miles. And after installing this solar panel at Summit Elementary back in October, the school district of La Crosse looks forward to new solar energy opportunities for the future. With a gradual set schedule for each grade, the district looks to transition back to in-person learning as safe as possible. Boyson and his wife have received bottled water since December, but that doesn't change how much they and fellow residents continue to ask what's going to happen for the future of their water. Even without a physical presence in the Student Union building this year, the event's message of raising Black voices remains intact. If you make your way to the corner of 16th and Winnebago Streets in La Crosse this holiday season, you are in for a Yuletide spectacular of lights.
I probably started with one or two pieces, a couple lighted Christmas trees and a lighted reindeer or so, and then each year I keep adding.
An idea that started with Jeff Schultz about 30 years ago for his kids.
When they're in school, I'd put a piece out, and then they'd come home and look at it, and then till Christmas, every day I put a different piece out for the kids.
And it was Jeff's inspiration that caused many of his neighbors to start some friendly competition.
I tell you, when I started, it was just me. And then Gary moved in, then he started going gung-ho. And then now we got Josh going over there. People up the street started, so it's kind of like a disease.
However, with the pandemic, the tradition almost didn't happen for Jeff this year.
I told everybody I'm not going to decorate this year because this COVID stuff's getting me down. So I started seeing the lights pop up, and pretty soon I couldn't resist. I had to just keep going.
We don't have the normal traditions of, say, getting together with family or friends. Christmas lights, either putting them up or going to see Christmas lights, is one tradition that has remained the same. And so I think that holding on to those traditions that we can have control of is really important to make us feel grounded.
It really is nice to have the whole city kind of lit up this year. I mean, COVID has kept people inside so much. And so it's kind of fun to find joy somewhere else, and just driving around and looking at all the lights kind of brings you that happiness.
But Jeff doesn't plan on slowing down anytime soon.
I don't know when I'm going to stop. Probably when I'm not alive anymore, People drive around and they stop and they look, and the kids get out and walk around, and it makes me feel good,
Walking in Riverside Park is an everyday affair for downtown La Crosse resident Kelly Conrad.
I walk at least once a day, often twice a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon.
One highlight of his everyday stroll is seeing the ongoing progress of the La Crosse Center, where renovations and construction started in March.
I remember when they started putting up the fences and poles so that they were going to put the pillars in, and I spent more than a few hours sitting on a bench there watching the construction crew putting together the pieces.
La Crosse built this in 1980. There was Mayor Pat Zilke at the time. It was his vision to make this all happen.
However, after 40 years, Director Art Fay says the concert and sports venue was ready for a facelift.
We had analyzed where's the growth potential for more business to come to La Crosse and the La Crosse Center. A big part of it, take advantage of the Mississippi River, which is right out of our back door. So the design became part of a community project.
In addition to a full remodel of the facility, major additions include new meeting rooms off the arena, a new sound system, remodeled lobby, and the new grand ballroom overlooking the river. Even the COVID pandemic has had its advantages.
When we started construction, COVID almost hit at about the same exact time. It slowed us down from doing events in the building, which we had continued to plan on doing. From a construction standpoint, it actually opened up the door a little bit more for us because they didn't have to work around the events that we were going to have coming in.
With 6 years in the making and a $42 million budget, Fay looks forward to the grand opening of the La Crosse Center for late fall of 2021.
We're really excited in what's going to be happening here in the next year or so with this venue and the things it's going to bring. I think something that the La Crosse area in western Wisconsin can be very proud of.
It's going to be an interesting place. We're looking forward to it opening so that we can maybe have dinner or something overlooking the river.
The center currently aims for a tentative open date to the public sometime in November. In La Crosse, David LaClair, First News at 9. Caddy's Cafe in downtown La Crescent is a regular dining spot for Jane Vonderosh and her sisters.
We come in here and we see lots of people we knew from a long time ago.
But Monday was extra special as she looked forward to their reopen to in-person dining.
I came today because we've been waiting for 8 long weeks because we're really missing our Friday night fish fries. It's not quite the same when you take it home.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announced Wednesday restaurant owners could reopen at 50% capacity. And after a rough number of weeks, cafe owner Lori Kablick says timing couldn't be better.
Friday nights were really busy, but the rest of the, probably like 30 to 50% of what we normally do.
Just up the street, Corky's Pizza owner Troy Nollop was also happy to get some customers right at their open at 11 a.m.
Some restaurants are able to adapt better than others. It was easier for us with the carry-out pizza, but we do a lot of dine-in as well and a lot of events in our event room.
Tables and chairs are set up at least 6 feet apart with continuous sanitation between patrons. But restaurant owners here in La Crescent are just excited to welcome customers back in their doors.
I'm hoping that it continues as it is and that people realize that Minnesota is back open. We had people coming in while we were closed wanting to indoor dine because they didn't know, so I'm hoping they know now that we are open.
I've missed the camaraderie, seeing our friendly people from La Crescent.
I'm just hopeful that everyone can get back to what they're doing as we get this virus under control.
State requirements also include a maximum party for 6 in restaurants and 2 seated at a bar. In La Crescent, David LaClair, WEAU 13 News.